Hey guys, welcome back. This is an off-topic video. I typically talk about what sold or what I sourced, basic reselling topics. Today's video is about this really cool resort called The Shack. They have fantastic hot tub motel style rooms, conference centers, game rooms, museums, and more, all situated on Robinson Lake in White Cloud, Michigan. I'm going to give you a brief history of The Shack. Then I'll show you my walkthrough tour, a video I took while there. So here's a brief history. A furniture dealer named Mr. Graves bought the original property and built a log cabin he called the Shack in 1942. The Shack and all the property was purchased by the current owners in 1976. It featured just 6 guest rooms, a kitchen, and a small dining room. In 1989, they added 20 more guest rooms, some with hot tubs and fireplaces, a large dining room, and 2 conference rooms. In 1995, they added a new building, bringing the total guest rooms to 34. In the year 2000, they added yet another building with many guest rooms featuring hot tubs, fireplaces. You get the idea. Total rooms as of the year 2000 was 45, but the resort just keeps on growing. Alright, look at these ceramic jugs, if you like ceramic jugs. I'm going to zoom in a little bit, but I don't know if it's going to focus if I zoom. That's the problem. But anyways, look at these wonderful ceramic jugs. Look at those big ones. This is all his personal collection. Look at that stove. Looks like the day it was made. Very cool. Just a ton. Look at that wringer washer machine up there. Sweet. And you got those. Really sweet John Deere sign. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah. Sign's got a few whammos, but it's really nice. And I'm not sure if this is a bird or a plane. Definitely a sculpture. Some big boulders down there. Let's get around to the other side. Yeah, it's really cool. I think it's a bird. I don't know. It kind of looks like a bird-plane combo. Very cool. I'm always jealous of people that have boulders. I always want one for my front yard. Sweet. There is a copper weathervane. If I saw this in a garage sale, I think I'd have a heart attack. It is not a reproduction. It is the real deal. Looks to be solid too. It is gorgeous. Gorgeous. All right, here we are in the museum, famous museum. I know this is a wringer washer. That's how Mrs. Midwest washes my underwear, is in a machine just like this. This is a corn husker. I think you stick corn in there. I am not entirely sure. That looks like the same thing. A very old John Deere rider that looks like brand new. Obviously restored, I think. Looks too nice. Very nice, very nice. An international pickup truck. 1929 international. Very cool. International, I believe, built vehicles up until the 1980s. I remember when I was a kid. Oh my gosh, look at this thing. 1925.
Ooh-wee, that's a 6-passenger. That's like a Suburban. Oh yeah, we got some snow machines here. If you're from Alaska, you call them snow machine. Here in Michigan, we call them snowmobiles. These are not nearly as old as the other one he has, which might be here somewhere. He's got a red and white one, like the very first snowmobiles ever made. But very cool. 1921 Model T. Very good condition. I bet he drives these in parades. Very old John Deere with the iron wheels. I think that rubber was added later so it wouldn't tear up the pavement. And we got the Lincoln Continentals. Not sure on the years on these. These are very early. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Lincolns. My dad had a tan one. Very similar to these. But yeah, nice. Got a maroon. Got a navy blue. These are 2-doors. That's a 4-door. One of these is very old, like 1969. Doesn't have a year on them though, it just says do not touch. You got a baby blue. The hood's like 8 feet long on that thing. Another maroon one. Here's an ice cream machine like you see at the beginning of my video. At the intro, it's a hit and miss machine hooked up to an ice cream maker. That's pretty sweet. That Lincoln is sweet. I'd like any of these Lincolns. And this looks like a copper washing machine with a wringer on top, I believe. There's a big cast iron cauldron there. So we're going to go into the museum. Ooh, that looks like a scooter. That might be a Cushman. Unrestored Cushman scooter, maybe? Don't know. I think Mike Wolf would know what that is. So here's the old-timey kitchen supplies. There's another wringer. You wash the clothes in there. I guess you bring them out into the tub. Copper washing machine. Sweet. Oh yeah, cream separator. Electronic cream separator. Very cool. Apple butter kettle. Look at that thing. Takes some muscle to do that. Just a variety of stuff. Oh, batch separator. Very cool. Very big too. Yeah, nice. A bean sorter. Cool. An anvil. For your safety, please do not touch. Yeah, I'd say it's about 3 pounds. Vice. Yeah, just implements. Sometimes you'll see this stuff at flea markets. If you see an axe like that, it's very old. There's a variety of tools, International Harvester tools. A lot of times when you buy a Model A, Model T tractors, they come with tools. And you'll see these a lot of times at flea markets for very cheap, $1, $2, $3. And people do collect them. Got some more axes up there. A food chopper. Well, that's pretty cool. You got the hit and miss over here that runs the food chopper. Look at that, it's still got the original sticker on there. You don't see that very often. You got the open fuel tank, the original decal, which you don't see very often. And it's on a cart. The cart looks new. Still very cool. Very nice. Alright. Hand crank cream separator. Yeah, you don't. You don't see that too much anymore. Old-timey tub, old-timey toilet. Very cool. Chamber pot. If you don't know what that is, ask your mom. Let's see. Grist mill. Little hand crank. That's an old ice box. You'd literally put ice in it. Double boiler. Cast iron wood stove. This is what Mrs. Ingalls on Little House on the Prairie would use to bake a cake. Could you imagine trying to control the temperature with a wood fire stove? I mean, that was like not easy to do. Please don't pinch the cook's bun. Don't pinch. There's some coal. Don't pinch the cook's buns. This is cool. I like this. Nature made a mistake in giving the horse brains. Science did better and made the Oldsmobile. That is sweet. That is not a reproduction. That is cool. Look at all these cast iron skillets. More jugs. There's a giant skillet. Look at that sucker. It's about an 18-inch skillet. And you got a drill press here. That's an old-timey drill press. There's another one over here. Look at that. That is cool. Very nice little miniature stove. There's a copper washing machine. Very cool. I'm not sure what that is. Maybe a seed planter. I've been here a dozen times. I've never seen this bike before. This is obviously a custom job with extended handlebars and a high seat. Definitely vintage 70s. Look at that. That is cool. Another angle from the side. Yeah, that's something a teenager would make with a arc welder back in the early 70s. Just to be silly. But yeah, that is cool. Got somebody being a pig over here. Oh, it is a pig. Wild boar. Look at that sucker. Pretty cool. Now this is the kind of gazebo I would want in my backyard. Check that out. Handicap accessible. Look at that baby. The Wazebo. Wozebo. Yeah, that thing is sweet. Probably costs as much as my house to build. But very nice. Very cool. And look at this. We got a new museum. This was not here last time I was here. The Jugville Old Engine Museum. Check that out. You got some hit and miss engines sitting outside right over there. We'll have to check that out later. It's probably not open till 10 o'clock. But over here we have the Pine Stump Diner. Not even sure what that is. Oh, there's an arrow. Pine Stump Diner. It's a big sign. It goes down there. Well, me and Mrs. Midwest, we come here to the shack every year for, gosh, I don't know how many years in a row. She'll tell me. 12 years in a row? 15 times? 8 times? I don't know. I've never been to the Pine Stump Diner. This is looking back. That's another big room. There's the main office, way down there. We'll hit the museum later. This is the back of the livery building. I know it's confusing. There's some more motors over there. Let's look at these. This is the, again, the personal collection of the guy that owns this place. Super nice guy. Some more boulders. Super nice guy. Has to be in his 90s, but these are everything he owns. I don't know where he gets this stuff or how he gets them delivered here. But look at these babies. There's probably nicer examples inside the museum. This is just sitting outside in the open environment. These things probably weigh I think that one weighs about 4 pounds. I think that weighs about 3 tons. So it's what's left of a hit and miss engine. If you're familiar with that, you know, like my intro Midwest Picker YouTube videos on my intro. There's a small hit and miss motor making ice cream. If you see my intros, and that's a Amish run. So yeah, you'll have to look that up. Look at that. Could you imagine what that thing ran? Holy cow. Let's see what that is. Lufkin 2-cycle gas engine. Wow. I don't know if he's going to restore these or what. But holy cow. They look pretty heavy. I think Harry Humstone and myself could pick one of these up and move it if we had to. Yeah. I don't think so. Yeah, this is obviously incomplete, but man. No safety features at all, period. You had to use common sense and intelligence back in the day, or you'd get an arm ripped off. Nowadays, there's safety guards and precautions. You can't get anywhere near moving parts. But look at this thing, man. That gives you an idea of how old it is. That looks like a radiator from a Model A, probably a Model T. So this could be something somebody put together, not homemade, but not factory either. There's a spark plug, single spark plug. Look at that thing, man. Good grief. Yeah. Oh, it says Ajax engines. Never heard of that. I don't think there's a year on there. Huh. Wow. Looks like it was for pumping something. It's pretty complete. It's got a lot of the parts there. I mean, even if you restored something like this, you're going to have to just make it up as you go. Because there's no way you're going to go on eBay and find the parts for that. There's another one. American saw. So this is an old saw. Cool. There's another one. This is very similar to the Ajax one. About the same thing. Old radiator. Probably a pump. Look at the wood they have that thing mounted on. I mean, this thing is unbelievably heavy. Get back a little bit here so you can see it. Whew. This one's a little different. Let me back up. I have to back up so you can take it all in. Parts on the ground. Look at that thing. That's about a, I don't know, 5-foot flywheel. Don't even want to imagine what that wheel weighs. I don't want to face the sun, otherwise you're not going to be able to see real well. Here's the back side. Look at this pulley. I mean, that pulley by itself is probably 200 pounds. Ajax. Well, the Ajax company made some. Oh, there's a wrench. Look at that. Just sitting there. Yeah. That is sweet. So this guy just buys this stuff and then creates museums for it. So it looks like he's focusing this new museum on these old engines and motors and stuff. Just nuts. And we're going to take a walk down this path. Some old farm implements. Don't even ask me what it is. They're all original, obviously. The wood is still there, but it's seen better days. And any farmers would know what these are called. I'm sure Noel knows exactly what these are. Even though they're way before her time, she could tell you. I know what that does. That's a plow. But that, I don't know if it's a harvester of some kind. I don't know what that is. Noel Farmgurlscavenger. What is this thing? Original wagon from Little House on the Prairie. Yeah, this is not a newish thing. This looks original to the 1800s. What's left of it. Not sure what the plan is, if this will go in a museum, but obviously it's seen better days. But man, if this thing could talk, imagine the things this thing saw. There's a piece of paper attached to it, but it's too weathered to read. I probably said something before, but yeah, this is definitely original. Definitely very old. I don't know where he picked this up from. I don't know how long it's been sitting here. The shack has been here for quite a long time. I'll try to tell the story at the beginning of the video, so I'm not going to repeat it, but it's been here for a long, long time. So maybe this has been here since the 1950s? I don't know. Alright, here's another Little House on the Prairie wagon. What's left of it. It's pretty much just the iron and a little bit of wood. I'm not sure what the plan is for this either. That piece of metal growing into the tree. But yeah, it's all original. Seen better days. Pieces and parts over there. Still very cool and very interesting. And if you could stick those spokes back together, just the wagon wheel itself is worth a lot of money. But the hardware is there. I suppose you could try to restore it. I wouldn't. I'd just leave it. It's a wall hanger or a ground hanger. I don't know. Pretty sweet. There's a big saw. What's left of this? Looks like it's been there for a while. Another Little House on the Prairie wagon. This one's got some different pieces and parts to it. Yeah. Sweet. I mean, I think a lot of people put these in their front yard as a decoration and just let it sit there. But, you know, if this was built in the early 1800s, this is a lot left. Can you imagine an automobile built in 1983? What's left of it after 150 years? I can tell you nothing. So yeah, this is that wheel is really good. You could pull that wheel and hang it on the wall in your house. So here we have some pieces and parts. There's a small axle. I'd say that wheel's about 16 inches. Hard to tell from video, I can tell. This, I should know what that is. Noel, what is this? Is this for squeezing, making cheese? Making butter? What do you do with this thing? You know, the modern equipment for making butter and cheese and whatever is not much different than these antiques. You got this giant piece. I'm sure you put corn in there. Maybe it's for husking corn. I don't know. It's got a pulley, so it's mechanical. There's this thing here. I guess if you grew up on a farm, you would know exactly what these are. That's a little plow. There. Oh, that's cool. Some more pieces and parts. I'm not sure what that thing is. These are pulley wheels. These are very popular online. If you can get these, you know, you can, if you were to list these, you would put steampunk in the title and the description. Vintage, even antique. I would put antique cast iron, pulley, wheel. Very collectible. Expensive to ship, of course. This thing looks like a piece of a hit and miss motor. You can tell from the giant hole in the top. That's the gas tank. It was just an open air gas tank. So that is from a hit and miss motor. I'm not sure what this is, but it's got an old pulley on there and gears, and then like a chute. I don't know what this is, but it's been here a while. Alright, I'm standing at the back of the Antique Motor Museum, which is right here. This is the back side. So here is the back parking lot, the overflow that's not in the museum. The museum doesn't open until 10 a.m. It's 9:30 right now, so look at that radiator. So I think these are projects. They need to be cleaned up, painted, all that kind of stuff. Similar to the ones we saw out in the woods. These look to be more complete. I'm not even sure if I'm supposed to be back here, but I'm doing this for you. Look at that barrel. Isn't that cool? So this one looks like it's a restoration project. Oh, look at this. Yeah. Big old motors. Yeah, I'm sure this is a restoration project. It looks really nice. Here's a nameplate. Yeah, very sweet. Yeah, this weighs about 5 pounds. Here's another one over here. Same nameplate. I'm going to have so many possible thumbnails for this video. It's crazy. I don't know what you put in there. Chickens? Is that for defeathering a chicken? Mechanically separated chicken or pork. You ever seen that on a package? Well, now you know. Look at that. Once that wheel gets spinning, it's not going to slow down. It doesn't take much. That's the theory behind the hit and miss motors, is the centrifugal force, the weight of these wheels. Once they get spinning, 200 RPMs or 100 RPMs or whatever, it takes very little energy to keep them going. You just need one pop from the single cylinder to push it. And that you adjust how often it fires, I think, from this thing here. So you could have it fire once a second, you could have it fire once a minute. I've seen them as slow as once a minute. But once that wheel gets going, and these things just sip fuel. I mean, they barely use any fuel at all for that much energy. It's crazy. Here's another motor. I think this one is heavier. I think this is about 10 pounds. And you might not be able to tell from the video, but it's about 10 feet high, 10 feet long. This looks like the rare 2-cylinder motor. It's even got stairs. It's so big. Look at that. There's the back of that giant radiator. That's not even a semi. That's like for a factory. I don't know what that is. But just incredible. Now here's the super rare 4-cylinder. These are not small combustion engines. This is not what you would think of as a combustion engine. This is a lot different. But look at that exhaust. And then it goes out there. Good grief. Could you imagine what that sounds like when it's running? I gotta be careful where I step. It looks like they got fuel oil on the ground. Prime, run, and stop. Hope I'm getting that on there. That's what it says. Yeah. Prime, run, and stop. Yeah, I bet you it takes a bit of fuel to prime that. It's ginormous. Here's a big, I don't know what this is, a bearing? Frank's Moors. What is that? It's a lot of copper, I know that. Looks like some kind of giant bearing. I have no idea. I gotta start heading back to the room though soon. There's a hit and miss. See the giant fuel tank on top. And that looks like a oil well. There's some in the distance I don't have time to go to, but look at the size of those wheels. They're broken. Look how big those things are. They're about 12 feet in diameter. Ginormous. Maybe later I'll get up close. Got stuff everywhere. Pontoons. Looks like he's setting up a cider mill, grist mill. Yeah, this is like in the works. This museum I don't think is operating yet. Every year they build something new. Look at the flywheel on this thing. Don't grab that when it's spinning, please. And the other question is, how in the heck did he get it here? That's what I want to know. Wow. That's just nuts. Just nuts. So this one, look at this baby. I think somebody else restored this years ago. But it's got the big iron wheels. Yeah. Industrial Revolution. And it's funny, once, there's a single spark plug. By the time they got these built and were running, it wasn't a couple decades later, they were outdated already. So these replaced or competed with steam power using fuel. It was a new idea, and then these were replaced with diesel, and one thing after another after another. Now you got Tesla automobiles. But yeah, huge and heavy. Look at that sucker. Very nice. So normally you don't see that because the engine is gone and the I don't know, the engine's gone, half the tractor's gone. So now you can see the steering column, which you normally don't see when the tractor's all put together. I was gonna say that looks wonky, but it makes sense. Here's a clue of what's going on. So like I said, I think this guy's been doing this since the 1950s. But there's a sign, Antique Engine Show, July 11th through 13th. So I think he participated in antique engine shows back in the day when he was younger. Maybe his son does it now, I don't know. So I don't know if he does it anymore. Well, look at these trees. So if you notice, all the buildings on this property are rough cut wood that are like laminated. And I think all the wood comes from this property. They just cut down, I don't know how many hundreds of acres they have here, but I think they cut down their own trees and then they make, beams and wood siding and whatever, but they take advantage of these giant trees and make giant pillars. So the original building, the restaurant, they have pillars like this size inside. And I don't know if you can tell on video, but these are like 3 feet in diameter. These are just huge trees. Look at that. That's a lot of money right there. I don't even understand how these are so big. Look at this. This is like 5-foot diameter chunk. Yeah, I don't know if you can tell from the video. There's a rotted tree that's hollow. You can see they made a beam right there. But a lot of money in wood here. This is nuts. But they do repurpose it. It does go to a good cause. They make buildings out of it, just like they did back in the day. There's a big old stump. So yeah, these are nice. I think they're just allowing these to dry out. They cut them like this into pieces. Looks like about 8-foot pieces. And then they probably sit here for a couple years and just kind of dry out. And then they treat them and cut them, or cut them and treat them. Cover them in decoupage. No, I don't know what they cover them with, but they coat them. I call it shellac. I don't know what they use, but it's a clear coat after they're done, and it's just beautiful. So yeah, a lot of wood here.
That's the video, guys. We had a fantastic time at the shack in Jugville, Michigan. And no, Enoch and Joey were not invited. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this walkthrough, please hit that thumbs up button. Feel free to comment. Share this video with anyone you think would find this video interesting. Take care, guys.